What's shaking, everybody? How are you? Hope you guys are doing good. I say that often, but I really hope you guys are doing really well. Speaking of doing really well, this is a band called Belvedere from Canada. Good friends of mine, or at least Steve, the singer. As I'm looking at the picture now, I realize that I don't know anybody in this band except for Steve Rawls. One of those bands that's been around a long time, and let's be honest, there's not a lot of money in punk rock, and he's the kind of guy that likes keeping the band going, man. And he keeps it going because it's a rad band. And they don't tour all the time, but he's one of those guys that just like he doesn't care about that. He just wants to keep the band going, stay creative, and that's rad. And it's not always easy to find people to play in a band anymore. It just isn't. How's it going? What's going on? How is everybody doing? I've got this. It's not a Tom DeLonge Strat. We'll talk about this guitar a little bit through the stream. What did I do here? Oh, there it is. Oh, and there it went. I was like, Jesus, I just had my tuner. Where'd it go? So, man, we're just going to keep chugging along. And our follower count just keeps growing slowly. And I like that. I like that it keeps growing slowly. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere with this, really. I mean, we do what we do behind the scenes. And that's our bread and butter. The team and I, we work on a lot of projects with a lot of different developers. We're all on lots of beta teams, many beta teams. We've been around doing this for a long time, so we've all got our things going on behind the scenes. This is just sort of a little bit of what we do, and excited. I'm excited to be able to stream for you guys and talk to you guys about plugins and such. And my name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim Show. And this guitar is just a simple Fender. It once was a Fender Standard Series. Is that what they call it? Special Series? Standard Series? Can't remember. This is made in the USA, but some of it is. Made in the USA, but it's the lowest line of USA-made guitars. Gosh, I'm starting to get a bit of a cold. I'm gonna need to bring a Kleenex over. I forgot my drink at the fucking counter. Oh, life is... This is tough. I need a beverage. Anyhow. Okay, so this guitar, what did I do to it? I'm gonna sit up a little bit higher. Okay, that's better. So what I did to this guitar is really simple. And I sit really weird, but by the way, guys, not to slouch by keeping my foot up like this. It is what it is. All right. So I got this guitar. It was nothing but the neck and the body, and that was pretty much it. It had the jack plate, it had no pickguard, just a route, and no tuners. And I got it for like next to nothing. So I got the body, and then I just kind of did what I did with it from there. And I've had it in a few different setups, we'll call them. This is one of them, and I prefer this way. This is sort of like the Tom DeLonge Strat kind of thing. Only this is, and I like this guitar better, because I can just take this pickguard off, and I have rotating 3 single coil pickguard I can just put right back in if I want to. There's the route's all perfect. It's great. There's a lot of work that was done under here. Now, I had this guitar like this before. The Invader was sitting too high, and the reason it was sitting too high is because the route was not deep enough. And there we have it. So I couldn't get the big fat Invader to sit down low enough. And if you've ever used a Seymour Duncan Invader before, you'll know that it can't be close to the strings at all. And if you're out there right now and you're watching this and you're like, yeah, well, I put mine close to the strings, you're incorrect. I know pickups are all about feel, but if you've got an Invader close to the strings, it's not doing its job. It's got to be like at minimum 4, maybe 5. I have it at 5 right now. So this is what we're going to sound like. We're going to get started with a few different plugins today. Seymour Duncan Invader, by the way, threw a couple of Fender locking tuners, and with the nice little ivory looking pegs. And it's got GraphTech, GraphTech saddles in it as well. So let's get to this, and let's start. We're going to start out with, we're on it already. Let's start out with Nembrini Audio's BST1 V2 I'm after some rock tones today. This is based on a Soldano SLO 100. It's one of my favorite plugins based on that amplifier. I really, really would prefer this. I'm going to do my own little setup here instead. And you guys can just, if you like it, you like it. Let's see what we got here. That's way too much. All right, that's not fully in tune. I just put brand new strings on this yesterday. I went with a set. I am set up with sit strings. Thank you so much to sit strings. But my allotment is not going to be in for a little bit, so I had to go and I wanted to try something a bit different. So I tried a 48 to, I think it's 11.5 or 48 to 11.5 or 10.5 on the guitar. And we're going to see how it goes. Now let's calm down with that a little bit. So it's got the VHT cabinet and it's got, I'd like to go with the Soldano if I can. Hey Nails, what's going on, buddy? Sorry, I'm going to be looking down at the comments just for a pinch. I think I might be able to get away with it. Oh, I can do that? Wait a minute. I can do that? Oh, I can. Wonderful. Okay, so as it's charging, I can actually have it on its side and I can see the chat just fine. Oh, it's nice that they did that. Okay. We're going to sit it like that. Fuck off, old note. Hey, now we're... That's going to fall, isn't it? Probably going to fall. We're going to try, though. Oh, yeah, it fell. Of course it fell. This is such a low-tech setup. I really got to figure out a way that I can monitor comments. Oh, my gosh. This is... What a tragedy that's going on right now on this. I almost reported Nils' comment by accident. 6 folks here. How's it going? Today we're after some rock tones, and why? Because I just want to test out this Invader. And you might be thinking, well, isn't an Invader a metal pickup? It's not really. You can think it is, and if it is to you, that's cool too. I think it's sort of just a jack of all trades pickups. It's definitely, in my just personal taste, I like it better for big rock, strong rock tones, maybe like hardcore, maybe thrash. Depends on the amp with thrash, but really depends. All right. I am going to boost it. We're going to use the shoe drive today. Remember, if you're boosting an SLO 100, though, you want to be careful with those mids. Careful with those mids. And I'm going to bring up... I was so stoked today. Today I've got a bit of I've got my only iLock rant ever. I've never really hated on iLock. I just understood that it was a necessity and just got over it. It was annoying. I hated it. But at the same time, I never really just went out there and bitching about it all the time. Like some people just like, I'm boycotting every company that uses iLock. See you later, bro. Sucks to be you. We're going to use all these awesome things and you can go cry in the corner. That was my idea. But now, today... Thank you so much to Mixwave. They sent over the new Bloomfield Drive. What is it? Is it called the Bloomfield Drive? Is that the new plugin? They also did a fucking app down bass plugin that I right over my head. I get Mixwave all over my social media, but for some reason the app sound got over my head, and I don't understand it. But I'm going to be demoing that in the next bass stream, which will be probably a while. All right, let's put the comments up. I'm just going to put them up here. This is driving me crazy. I'm also going to have to put the comments more like in a visible manner so that I can actually fucking see them with my old ass eyes. There's lights in them too. I'm going to complain. Old man yells at cloud. Ah! All right. This thing sounds like we're going to turn this up, by the way. Let's turn it up. Heads up. I can't remember that song. What was it again? I'm not gonna fuck. See, that's what I hate. I'm not gonna be that guy that's trying to learn a song. I wanted to play a Blink 182 riff. Once upon a time, I was a huge Blink 182 fan. I know I've been listening to them since they were Blink. I saw one of their very... Not only did I see their first show in Canada, but I also saw Travis Barker's first show at the band ever, which happened to be at a small festival in Quebec, which was with bands like Link 80. Guar was there. The Misfits. It was the weirdest festival. It was this tiny little festival in the middle of Quebec. A tiny little small town, and I went to see them, and it was his first show with the band. They had just gotten him fresh out of Aquabats. So but then somewhere along the line, their heads went up their ass, and they just became like every other douchey rock band. And then he just started to suck. And their new stuff sucks. Although I do think that Buddy's got a lot of really good things to say about aliens, but that's an entirely different topic for another day. That's the other thing. Let's allow talk about aliens as well in the comments. You feel free to talk about aliens all you like. I'm not even saying that they were mad talented. This is a story that basically just starts with a girl. I found them because of I was a metal guy. I grew up listening and loving nothing but metal, a little bit of punk here and there. And then, as I've explained many, many times, the only prospect for bands at the time, if you wanted to join a band, you had a few choices: a skate punk band or a grunge band. Or if you were 25 plus, you could maybe think about joining a metal band. But if you were younger than that, there were just no metal bands to join. There were none. Zero. Zip. Nothing. So I was hanging out with a lot of punk dudes and punk rock guys, punk rock girls, and then one girl liked Blink a lot. And that's how I was... We have to put a pause on this one to listen to this. Or... If you've never heard Crotch Duster from Jason Sukoff, you gotta go get Crotch Duster and listen to Mammal Sauce. You can even just fuck the stream for a few minutes, listen to the song, or put it on in the background. It's fine. What a song. If you don't laugh at listening to this album, big fat box of shit, you will not laugh at anything. Fuck. Anyways, long story long, this girl got me into liking Blink 182, and I just... Something about them just being stupid and singing about stupid shit. I just liked it. But I tend to gravitate more towards metal punk, the more metallic and shreddier punk rock bands. No effects, faster, a little bit more, more attitude, faster, strung out, Lagwagon, stuff like that. Man, so if you either like the sound of an SLO or you don't, and in this case, I can't not laugh at this, I'm sorry. So here's the lineup today. Let me know if you do or don't want to see something. The lineup is Amplification, Caliburn, super solid at doing some Marshall tones. I'm after some rock tones, punk rock tones, rock, maybe like hard rock type stuff today. I've got this tuned in E flat, and I'll maybe drop it to D flat, pretend D flat, C sharp. We got NAM Universal that's always in the chain. I'm actually going to pull it out again today. A lot of people asking, why don't you use it more? Because I don't want every stream to be just like a non-stop push session. I don't want to do that. I'm not that guy. We're not those people. We'll give it to you. You guys know it exists, and we'll just show it to you here and there just to let you know. There is an update on the way. There are presets on the way, as far as I know. Right now, I'm working on some other things. Like I said, lots going on in the back burner right now. We've also got Bulldog, and I say it like that because it's all in caps, so there's no other way you can say it, but this is Bulldog. All right, tiny bit more story time. So I'm eating my dinner last night, and I've got, if you got a billion times already. I've got a dead tooth right here. And about 10 years ago or more, my dentist told me, listen, man, that tooth could last you another 5 months. It could last you another 10 years. And he was right on 10 years. Last night, I'm eating my dinner. I hear, and it's the only thing that feels like a cracked tooth is a cracked tooth. And you know when you cracked a tooth. That's it. The only thing that might make you feel like you cracked a tooth is when you accidentally bite sand. And that, holy fuck, is the goddamn one of the worst things. And when I own my own version of hell, I'll be eating nothing but food that's got sand in it. Okay? So, all right. So what I did last night is I cracked my tooth. And I'm sitting there, fuck me. Fuck. Damn fuck. So then here I am. I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I noticed there's just a piece wiggling. Most of the tooth was fine. And there was the giant filling in it, which is made out of very dark material. Thanks, doc. What can I tell you? Budget at the time. So what did I do? I wiggled it around a little bit. I got a little pissed off. So I grabbed the pliers from my kit here, these ones. And I just pulled the piece out, and went right back to my dinner. That's what I did. And finally, my plan is now come to fruition. I've been planning this moment for years. So it's kind of a bittersweet moment that my tooth is cracked. But now I finally get my gold tooth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be getting a gold tooth, potentially silver, or depending on the material that's most cost effective but still looks rad and doesn't need a whole lot of like buffing. I think I'm gonna get a gold tooth. This should be fun. Freyskin, it's been a while. Oh fuck. Don't even bring Avril Lavigne. Yeah, you know what? You can want to talk about Avril Lavigne. This is gonna be a little bit odd because I'm playing one plugin, you can see another. Bulldog is in there. Divided 11. From Nembrini, try that again. Nembrini Audio, also in here. Currently, I'm rocking on the BST100 V2 in the house. And that's it. I've got some other stuff in the chain, some pedals and some stuff like that. But overall, not a ton. I'm going to go and get one pedal. I'm going to go and get... So, which one is this again? Bass driver. I can't remember which one is which on this. Distortion is the C. Which one is the drive pedals? There's the fuzz pedals, flanger, distortion, delay, compressor, chorus, OD. There it is. Let's put this in here and turn that off for a sec. Okay, so this is it just gives you an idea of what the, let's go to screen. Gives you an idea what the Effector series of plugins kind of is as a whole. You'll get several different pedals, and every time you buy one of these from Kuassa, they've probably got a giant sale going right now. Every time you buy one of these from Kuassa, let me turn this down a tiny bit more because I don't want to yell over it. I feel like I'm yelling over it. So if every time you buy one of these, it separates it into multiple components inside Amplification 360. And if you like the stuff these guys are doing, I would say everything Caliburn and onward and newer is terrific. Everything beyond that, I think they've discontinued most of it anyhow. Amplification Cream, wasn't a winner for me. Vermilion was not a winner for me. But when they put out the bass amp, which is Cerberus, and they put out Caliburn, which we have in the chain today, things changed for that company. Things just, I don't know what they did different. I don't know what exactly happened, but things just fucking changed for that company. The quality went from to whoa in like the span of 2 fucking seconds. It was terrific. Very, very happy. So we're going to boost with this stuff today. We've got blues, boutique, mad. We're going to go with modern. Going to dial it back here, and this is just probably Joe Tube Screamer. There's 5 different pedals in one, and they're all modeled pretty well. So let's go start with that. Now let's see what we got here now. Yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah. Freeskin, saw your email again today, man. I am the most forgetful person on the face of the earth. I wear it all. I wear it all and trying to do too much. But don't worry. You're on my list of things to do, and it's long, but I'm gonna get to it, I promise you. So I bought a guitar also today. A couple days ago, I bought a Harley Benton GA baritone. And this thing's got a 30-inch scale. Big boy! It's a big boy with a big fucking fat neck and fat everything. And I'm gonna swap the pickups. I'm gonna do a few things. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna put a set of rail hammers into it. I have some rail hammer stuff still kicking around, and I'm gonna throw something because I think it might be good for my needs. I'm trying to get it to be able to do like doomier stuff, even plus more modern, gentier stuff, and etc. And I don't want to buy an 8-string because I just don't fucking want one. And I would like to have this monstrosity. So I'm getting a new pickguard made for it with like a carbon fiber look, and that's got humbucker and some things done to it. The thing was $177. What? It was, I couldn't think, and I don't understand it because after seeing videos from like Andrew Baina and some other people whose opinions I trust, State Metal Ray, I'm not sure I trust his opinion, but he made the thing sound really good, so cheers to him. I ended up picking that up so soon to be on the channel. I'm going to give it a few goes with just the cheap, crappy P90s in it. Oh, that's going to make a lot of noise. My noise gate might explode. I know it's just a plug-in, but there might be so much noise going through those pickups that I actually think the noise gate plug-in itself might melt down. The denoiser better be ready. Love this. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So this is the unmistakable sound. And we're going to go to the cabs. I'm going to get a little bit, I'm going to try to back off a little here. That sounds pretty good too. I need to reposition this. That sounds much better. Yeah, I'm going to play some cheesy dad rock today. And you're like, man, you're probably sitting out there. It might be infuriating you that I'm using the Invader, not playing metal on it. Well, it's an Alnico, however you like to pronounce it. It's just, to me, it's just too beefy for such things. I just prefer it in more of a rock kind of vibe. Super good for a single guitar player bands. If you're out there and you're like this single guitar player in a band, yeah, the Invader's definitely for you. But it's one of those pickups that's really hard to get the height right. And you might be thinking to yourself, what do you mean the height? Some people out there legitimately do not know that pickups have an ideal height. I knew one guy that in a stream was telling me that we were talking about pickup heights. He's like, oh, I've tried all these pickups. They all sound like shit. And he's rattling off some banger pickups. I'm like, this guy must be the most picky individual I've ever heard of. And then we got to talking with him. I think Bo might have even been part of this conversation way back in the day. We're talking about cell phone streams. For those of you in the chat that can remember my old cell phone streams on the old Honest Amp Sim Reviews user group, you should get a prize. Honestly, thank you for being there through those very, very tough times. I can't believe we used to get like 25 people for those streams. I can't even believe we used to get so many people for those things. But in any event, yeah. But if we're talking with this guy, and he said that all of his pickups, he was setting them. He said he came from I came from EMGs, so when I started trying passive pickups, I was just putting them like EMG close, and then you could just hear everybody else in that chat go, "Oh, ha, ha, ha. Well, there's your problem. You just wasted so much money. Don't want that. Don't." He was so much money that he was rattling off banger pickups like, you know, sewer custom Doug Aldrich sets and shit. And then we eventually figured out that this guy was setting everything to the, you know, as close as humanly possible, as long as it doesn't touch the pickup as I'm palm muting. It's like one of those, like EMG 81, got to get it close. Even EMGs, I don't set like that anymore, but still, some people do, and this guy was doing that. So pickup height is very important. If you don't set the pickup to at least close to how it was designed to be set, and yes, some people like to say, well, there's no ideal height for every pickup. They're not for every pickup. For each pickup, every individual pickup has its comfort zone of where you should at least start. Go like a, you know, like a starting point, going up and down a little bit here and there. The Invader is ideal at 5 millimeters. So just think of how much could be going wrong in your life if your pickup height's fucked. This, not your life, but in your performing life. You could be trying you could be trying all these different plugins and they all sound like shit. And in reality, it's just this new guitar you bought. Maybe you fucked around with the pickups, started turning things, weren't really sure what you were doing. There's no excuse for that anymore, because YouTube, in the search bar that you're probably looking at right up here, the search bar has hundreds and thousands and hundreds of thousands of videos on how to do routine guitar maintenance and how to set pickups up and things of that sort. So you cannot be ignorant to that. If you are a guitar player, get with the maintenance of your own instruments, understand the inner workings. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to look under the covers. You know what I mean? But just before you do it, understand what you're doing so you don't fuck. Man, I one thing I've noticed, I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to maintain this as well. Oh boy, I don't know what's going on here. Perfect. This is really pissing me off, guys. So the last message I saw, the stream didn't die on my end, guys. Speaking of, okay, so the last thing I saw was Sup Pedro from Messer Recto, and then it just died on me. It just died, and that's really starting to bug me. That really does bug me. I gotta figure something else. $3,500. The price is ridiculous. There's a new 2C Plus coming out. I'm not saying that the Invader can't do metal, because that's a complete falsity, because Carl is very well aware that's the man's like bread and butter is the Invader, and it is a fantastic pickup for metal. It's just, for me, there's stuff I like better for metal, and I've used the Invader in just about every type of situation. I think one of my favorite uses for it is actually what we were doing the other day, a little bit of hardcore. It's kind of an interesting use for it. I'm sorry, what did you just say? Did you just say they're completely they're discontinuing the entire... They're not. You're just putting me on right now. The neural plugin sounds good enough for me. Yeah. So that's the thing, though. It's the best thing about being an amp sim lover, like the majority of us, is that we're content with the plugin. There's a lot of people out there, like cork sniffers, that have the amp at home. It's like, I have the amp at home, I don't need the plugin. I love that guy. I love that guy that shows up in every conversation about every amp sim ever. There's always that guy. There's always that guy that shows up and goes, Yeah, I've got the real amp at home. It's sitting right behind me. I was trying to be serious there. I did a little spit take on my own spit. Anyways, there's always that guy. And this guy's so annoying. Never be that guy. Especially with like a valve state. There's a guy that's like, I could just go down to the pawn shop and buy one of those for like $200. Okay, cool. Well, the plugin's $70, and it comes along with several cabinets. It's pre-wired and ready to record as it goes. Like, I hate that guy. That guy, it's not the same guy, but you know the guy that shows up in every conversation. He's got to tell you that he owns the amp. Goodbye, dream. Wait. Fuck. Why would you be discontinuing one of the most popular amps in the history of the fucking universe? Like, why would you do that? That sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I realize that the Marks, you know, I realize that the 2C Plus is like definitely a way more versatile amp than the rectifier. The dual rectifier's never really been like that cool of an amp for anything. Again, like I'm not of the way of thinking that a rectifier is a metal amp. I've always seen the rectifier as like a punk rock and hard rock amp. As far as metal goes, I've never really seen it that way. Hardcore, yeah, but I don't know. A lot of metal bands have used them, but it's that's another conversation. Anyways, what are we using today? We're not after no rectifiers. That's exactly what they're doing, Eddie. They're gonna. Can you imagine what the used market for rectifiers did? I haven't looked, but I can only imagine what the used price on a rectifier went up to the second the dude went and hit that button, fuck post. The second he did that, the price on a used rectifiers went right up through the ceiling. It's silly. People are gonna pay a lot of money for those. That's dumb. All right, we're moving past the BST 100. Wonderful plugin on sale right now, if I'm not mistaken. They even did the snakeskin. Snakeskin, brother. Yeah, love me some snakeskin, and it's got the snakeskin Tolex, which is you can actually get this amp in still to this day. If I'm not mistaken, you can order it in snakeskin Tolex. If I'm not mistaken, I could be. I'm not sure. But man, what an amp. Yes, there's a Neural DSP version of this, and yes, there's several versions of the SLO 100, but I don't know, they're pretty good. You guys be the judge. You guys go ahead and judge for yourself. Which one do you like better? That's the important thing. Whichever one you like better. It's never bad to have a take, more than one take on an amp you really like, though. You know, if you really, really like a certain amp, never turn your nose up at another developer putting out another plugin based on that just because you already have one that you deem really good. And don't get me wrong, this and the Neural are both very, very, very top notch, and I think they're both on sale right now, so check them out. And I think that the Soldano is about to get the X series treatment if it hasn't already. So go check that out. Nembrini Audio, Neural DSP. Pow, goodbye. We'll see you a little bit later. Now, this bad boy right here. I think there's a redone version of this. Not redone, but I think there's an updated version. But I think it takes me to Amp Locker, and I don't want that. I don't want to go to Amp Locker. I've tried Amp Locker, and I love it. I just had some issues with it that I have not been able to resolve, and I've emailed the company 3 times about they had provided it to me to try out, and I don't mind paying for it either, but the problem is I'm having some really strange installation issues where when I install it, it just does not show up anywhere. So cannot seem to resolve that issue. Looking for some support there. So I might go to the user group and figure that out, or just try to work it out here internally. But either way, this plugin doesn't matter at all. it doesn't matter. None of that matters at all because this plugin is unbelievable. So we're going to go. All right. All right, just let me turn this up. We'll get some things moving in the right direction. So this is Bulldog. I don't need that. I've got my own deal kind of going on. I like the big, giant pedals in this suite. These are big boys right in your face. That's pretty cool. I like it. And if you're not familiar, again, I really like that they've done what they've done with the scenario here, with this whole. And if you've never used it before, if you've never heard of Audio Assault, I'm assuming you probably have because they've been around a long time. But if you haven't for some reason, maybe you're new to the whole thing, there's tons out there. Tons of reasons to go and buy Audio Assault products. Very cost effective. How do I turn off the cab? Turn off. Perfect. I'm just going to use my own cab with this for the moment. Use the E-gut. Better, just for now. I'm not saying that cab is bad. I just would rather give the amp a shot on its own here for now, for the moment. I'm a big fan of this plugin because it's the only VHT Pitbull plugin on the market, and kind of starting to get annoyed with that. It's one of those things that, like, gosh, there should be one by now, folks. Like, can we get one? That would be just wonderful, wouldn't it? Anyways. Rhythm. It's kind of quiet, so I'll get that up here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this absolutely cooks. You know what? Pretty fly for a white guy. Go ahead and try to play that riff in power chords. It's not as easy as you might think. It's got a lot of switching, fast, quick power chord switches that are actually, I'm not going to call it tricky, but again, it froze. It froze. So I don't think this stream is freezing. I don't really know what exactly is going on with with shit though. It's really bugging me. See again. Gosh. It's starting to, that's bugging me. What drew me to the Seymour Duncan Invader initially was the way it looks. Like, let's be honest, if you've seen the Invader before, the big, giant poles, that fuck you size poles on that pickup, you're like, woo, that's interesting, looks heavy. But yeah, it's good for, sure, it's good for metal, but it's going to take an amp and it's going to take some dialing to get it the way you want. I think it's a lot more plug and play for like hard rock metal. What do you call those bands? I don't even know what to call them anymore. What do you call Godsmack and all the bands like the American hard rock? But it's not quite rock. It's heavier than rock. There's some like almost like, what do you call that? It's not new metal. I don't even know what I would call that, to be honest with you. I'm not even, all I call it is American hard rock, because there's just so many of those bands. 3-word band names, something of something, something versus something. You guys know the bands I'm talking about. You know. You fucking. Yeah, big beefy pickup. I'm gonna dick around with the heights a little bit here, but I think it's just about where I want it. Let me give it a little quarter turn. Might even be a little bit better. Yeah. Hell yeah. Sounds great to me. I like it. Yeah. I think... Wait a minute. Velocity sensitive mode? What was that? Where did I see that? What even just happened? I just looked up and it said something about... I forget it. You didn't see it, I didn't see it. You hear, that's the one thing right there. If you're doing a lot of quick picking on the Invader, you can hear it. You can hear that really almost like a spongy feeling to things at times. That's a pretty high gain tone. I should be able to at least get it to poke through a little bit there, but anyhow. Just kidding. I hope you guys are doing really well. It's not going to be a super long stream today. I was on a bit late because I was monkeying around with iLok. So I was trying to try out the brand new plugin from Mixwave. And what happened was I accidentally, when you start your DAW, you first install an iLok plugin. You fire your DAW up and there's iLok right there. Pow! Hey guy, hey iLok here. Hey, you got to do this stuff first before you enjoy yourself. You got to do the stuff. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I was trying to do the stuff and I accidentally hit quit. And then when I went to try and activate it again, it just disappeared. It's installed. The VST3 file is there. It's all installed, but Reaper will not see it. Reaper doesn't see it. It just doesn't show up. It's active. It's activated. Thank you very much, Mixwave. I'll get it figured out for the next stream, I promise. I was really excited for that plugin today. I got this guitar all like tuned and spruced for this stream because I wanted to lay into that plugin with it. Yeah, it looks fun. I like it. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, again, here we are again. Man, it just does not want to stay active, stay current here. Do I just reboot it? Again, here we go. Man, I'm starting to get really upset with this this comments thing. So sorry guys, I think the comments are strange today. I'll figure it out. What's going on, Death from Archive? How are you? Alt rock, alt metal. Sure, I could go with that. Can't get into Godsmack. No, I can't get into Godsmack. I can't get into any band that just takes the Yarling thing too far. I can't do it. I can't get into. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't hate Nickelback, and that's not just because I'm Canadian. I don't feel there's anything wrong with them. A lot of their newer stuff sucks, but they started as a Metallica cover band in Canada, and I saw them at a small bar, and I've seen them a couple of different times, and they were great. And their new stuff kind of sucks. It's like country and stuff, but whatever. They're worse bands, way worse bands in Canada. Trust me. There are a lot of bands that do really well for themselves here. Government laws that force us to listen to certain things, but that's politics, so I'm not going to get into that too. But the thing is, if you're Canadian and you're living in Canada and you play music even sort of well, there could be someone that wants to talk to you. That's silly. Anyways, a lot of bands you haven't heard of. There's some really bad bands in every country, though. Not just this country. Invader sound. Yeah, exactly. Avenged Sevenfold. But I don't... Do both guys use Invaders in that band? What are the guys' names what are the guys' names in that band? I used to know the band. I used to know the guys' names in that band. Zaki. No, it's not Zaki Vengeance is from that other band. What's the guy's called? Something. I don't remember. I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sorry. In any event, he plays that cool cool-ish Schecter. Body's like kind of cheesy, to be honest with you. Sorry, guys. Just trying to keep caught up on the comments. It's really annoying. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe if I just leave it like that. And anyway, this is Bulldog. I like it. You guys should dig it too. A lot of bands, not a lot of bands really, really well known for using the VHT Pitbull. That could be another reason why that amps like that and the Rivera Knucklehead just haven't made it yet. But please, somebody, please, this year, can it be the year? Oh, Rivera Knucklehead, please. And if I can get picky, I would also like a Fryette / VHT Deliverance as well, please. I would love the Deliverance. If you're going to do the Pitbull, please also consider the Deliverance. From me. I'll give you a good review just based on the fact that it's an amp I've been waiting for a long time. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that, but it would be really awesome if somebody would do it. Sinister Gates. That's right. That's his name. The guy that did the solo on the coffin and there, all that jazz. I'm not tuned low enough. Man, really like this pickup. Really digging this this is going to stay like this. Now that I finally conquered the issue that it was having where the route was just too shallow to get the Invader in there comfortably, well, I just took my friend the rotary tool, the drill, and the chisel, and we just voluntold this body under here. If you could see, and I said this to the boys earlier, but if you could see under this pickguard, it literally looks like apocalyptic war zone. I mean, any guitar that anybody has with a pickguard on it, if you're ever buying a guitar from somebody, anybody that's got a pickguard on it, and you know that the pickguard, like the pickups have been changed, or you can tell things that work has been done, you might want to ask to look under the guard, or at least ask the seller to be really honest about what he's going to find underneath, just in case. And in that case, I would always just tell people, yeah, I've done some routing under there. There's this or there's that. But the pickguard is overrated. It doesn't matter. You know you're working on your own car when you literally do not care as long as it's covered by the pickguard. You just don't give a shit. That's how you know when you're working on your own instruments. Hey, Helmet. I don't mind Helmet at all. He's got a couple of signature overdrive pedals that from Protone before Protone went pro no business anymore. And man, I don't know if it's happening or not, but I know for a fact that the dude from Protone was looking into having some plugins made, and it just, I'm not sure what happened though. Guys, anybody else look at this UI really carefully? Look back here. Look at that. Right here. Interesting right there. This little thing. I'm not picking on it by any means. I just think it's funny occasionally you find little oops. I guess the cord also kind of just goes right into the cabinet too, but... Or wait, no, that's supposed to be the cord going back underneath. My bad. There's nothing wrong with this. That's the cord going underneath, and then I see it kind of snaking. I get what it's doing. Never mind. My bad. There's no way that anybody would let something that glaring get out anyways, I'm sure. I love that I'm talking about music with at least two other people that know who the fuck Helmet is. No. No, I remember hearing that song for the first time. What is this balls? Oh, I remember hearing that song for the first time when I was a kid. And the album had come out, and there was a guy at a local record store that always, anytime anything came out that was really good, he would tell you about it. And you just kind of get to know the people that came in. And he was always trying to get people into new bands if you thought that person might dig that band. And it was really cool. His name was Gary. And I wish I actually talked to Gary not that long ago. He used to be in a band called Head Cramp. And you should go check out Head Cramp. Cool band. They're fun. They're not serious. It's like metal punk. Interesting. Anyways, he told me about Helmet. And I remember putting that tape into my Walkman. Wow. I remember putting that tape into my Walkman, and just that song just floors you, because that was the first song I heard, and I saw the video for it on the Power Hour, and I remember thinking, gosh, that band is cool. So going into the store and he's like, there's this new band, Helmet, or this not new band, but he's like, have you heard Helmet? I was just like, no, I only one song. Well, the album's out. And then it got me. Problem was with Helmet is that they didn't do a lot of other stuff I really, really liked. That Symptoms of the Universe cover, though, was... That was a beauty. Gosh. It'd be really cool if we saw more signature plugins this year from more cool artists. Artists that I really respect. You know, it'd be nice to see some more for artists that I know. You know, like, sure, a lot of cool stuff comes out for artists I'm not super familiar with. And it turns out their gear, their plugins turn out fucking great. I end up getting to know the artist better. But it would just be good. It'd be really cool if somebody would to do a plugin based on, you know, the gear of somebody I liked a lot and really respected a great deal. And that would be really interesting if someone would on that. You guys tell me in the comments, who is a signature artist? Who is an artist that you'd love to see a signature from this year? Realistic, okay? Don't go tell me like fucking Tom Waits, archetype Tom Waits. don't give me like, well, I mean, Hendrix, that would actually be an option. But don't give me something dumb. Give me something that's actually maybe sort of kind of possible. Or throw it out there. And I will tell you, if I feel it's possible, oh my gosh, thank you. I've been dying for this. Gosh, I'm trying to learn how to navigate a mustache while eating and consuming things. It doesn't work. You always get your mustache in there. Zeus! Happy birthday, belated, buddy. One of my favorite humans in the house today. So how about this? You guys could also tell me in the comments an artist that you would love to see a signature suite for. And I would like to tell you if I know if potentially that has been discussed. I'm never going to say the developer, but I could always tell you if something is in the works. If I know that, not if it's in the works, because that's obviously NDA. What I mean is if it's an artist that would be reachable. And that, you know, or if someone's tried before and failed. I've been through those. There are artists out there that I know, I see them regularly getting requested by developers. And there's a couple of them out there that I know that just flat out don't fucking want a plugin. They're just like, I don't have any time for this. It'll make me a few bucks, but I don't want it. I don't stand behind it. I don't use these things. I don't want it. And that is a realistic thing that sometimes there are artists that just are not gettable. However, in the current landscape, the way a lot of developers are starting to approach it is, listen, we don't care if you fucking use plugins, dude. What we want to do is give you some money and we'll make it sound as good as possible. And a lot of these people are starting to come around because they're never going to use these things, but they're starting to come around because these are getting really good at what they're doing. So you can make some money, and you're not steering anybody in the wrong digital direction at the same time. I love that you love it. I love that you love it, Seuss, and I can't wait to love mine. I can't wait to love it. I can't wait to work on it. That's my favorite thing about buying a project guitar. I can't wait to just fucking cut the stock strings off, get that pickguard off, and start getting to work and ripping all the shitty wiring and shitty pots out of it, replacing them with CTS, some nice pots, you know, replacing them with anything that's not like, that's how they're saving the money in the 177. The electronics are garbage. I already know what's coming. The electronics are garbage for sure. The tuners are going to be a bit sus after about 6 months. Got that covered. I understand. I'm going to have to do some fret work. Guaranteed I'm going to have to do the fret ends, to spend probably a day or a day and a half doing the frets, but I'm going to make them perfect, and I'm going to make that guitar play as if it was worth $1,500 instead of $200. I'm going to make it feel and sound really good, is my hope. And I hope that it's, like I said, now I'm on to like 5 different people that have told me these things are actually kind of worth the money. So let's see what happens. Very excited about it. Now I don't have to go and buy that Paul Reed Smith baritone. I almost did too. I almost went and bought that that really nice Paul Reed Smith. Used to be the Mike Mashock version. I think it used to be called the Mike Mashock, but I'm not sure. I think it used to be called that, but then he left the company, or is he not with them anymore? Maybe he is. I'm not sure. 10 people. How does it go, everybody? Holy shit. If you're in the house, say hi. My name is Tyler, and welcome to the Amp Sim Show, episode 51. What do we do here? Well, we like to talk about Amp Sims and all the things that surround them. And we also occasionally talk about how I pulled a tooth out and after it cracked. Apparently that's something we're discussing today. Have you tried it? Have you tried the mic, the PRS Seuss? Man, I am happy. This thing, we started a little slow today. I'm in great mood now. I'm going to be with you guys for about 10 minutes here. We're going to end it off with a little bit of Caliburn, probably, maybe a little Divided 11 here, but I'd like to get this one in if I can, because this one is pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got. It's nice and quiet out of the blocks here. So this has 3 different amps. I think it's like JTM 45, JCM 800, and a JCM 900, I think, are the 3 amps in here. If I'm not mistaken, that is what the company told me back in the day. I realized that not all of these amps actually have 2 channels, but they have given them 2 channels. And you have to just understand the way that Kuassa do. They are a unique company that does kind of things with their own bag. Gonna bring that master back a little bit. So you can see that there's a few different cabinets available. They give you the access to 4 different Marshall cabinets. You've got lead, classic, reissue, and then you've got custom and custom. I think that's 3 Marshall cabinets and maybe 2 in-house cabinets, maybe? Not sure. And then they also give you access to 7 mics. So I'm going to go. They've already got kind of what I like to do here. They've got the, well, I'm going to go just for fun and give it a 414. Oh, no, that's not 8. There it is. Don't need to angle everything in here. Or I could go and do the reissue British. I don't want to use 2 different cabs. I'm going to go with another 57. We're going to angle that one. Sounds pretty good. And I'm going to crank up this a little bit. And then we're going to add a pedal. don't sleep on Kuassa because their prices are a little bit lower and maybe it's a little bit different than when you're used to. There's no boosts on board. Don't sleep on Kuassa. Don't sleep on this company. They've got a lot of stuff available and they've got a lot of stuff that sounds really good. My personal favorites would be Caliburn and the VVV, which is the PV. It's 3 PV amps in one. And I think you guys would really like that as well. Sounds like a Marshall. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like a fucking Marshall. Okay, I'm gonna bring this back a little bit, start giving it a little bit more yeah, man, they've got the VVV. This one right here. Ooh, that almost made a really bad noise for you guys, and I'm sorry. That almost made a really bad noise. This is it right here. We've used this in a stream before. They have 3 different amps, 3 channels, 3 different amps. Obviously, all of those amps do not have 3 channels. But nonetheless, they are here, and this is for you. You are welcome to go and check this out. I'm not going to check it out today, but yeah, VVV from Kuassa. I'm telling you right now that they're probably having a ridiculously cool sale. Head over to Kuassa and check out what they have on sale right now. I'm guaranteeing you're gonna be able to get this for a song and a dance. And if all it takes is a song and a dance, I got both for you, brother. I'll dance up a storm for this plugin. And also, of course, NAMM Universal did not get used today. I'm sorry, but it does exist. I would be using it all the time here on the streams. I'm just not one of those. I just don't want to sit here and just completely self-promote into oblivion. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. That would not be. That wouldn't be fun. I like promoting everyone, everything. If it sounds good. If it feels good, if it does the job at sounding like what it's supposed to sound like, if it's worth the money, if it's good bang for your buck, I want to use it here. And that is all there is to it. Doesn't matter what it is. This might be one of the best bang for bucks ever. There's a lot in this pack. All the content creators have been very happy with how this has turned out. So far, so good. The preset situation is a little bit annoying. And we're going to have to get that figured out really quick so I can get this insane amount of presets that I made right here for y'all. I want to make sure that we get that all into your care. And yeah, with that, the only plugins we didn't really get to today was the Divided 11. And I think is it Divided by 13, the company? Or Divided? I can't remember. This thing sounds really good, though. It does everything from country to blues to dad rock to maybe even thrash if you're really trying to squeeze out of this. You might be able to get to the thrash sector a little bit. Definitely get some good punk rock, rockabilly, ska. Lots of really cool things you can get out of this bad boy right here. It is an absolute banger, and I think it's also on sale. So head over. UI looks fucking fantastic. I'm just blowing it up this big. You're like, wow, damn, that looks good. Really, really great UIs always from Nembrini Audio. And I can tell you that there's something coming from Nembrini Audio that you've never seen from that company before. And that's well, no, they've done licensed efforts before with, I think there was some Eddie Kramer and some other stuff. But this is a large licensed offering is all I can tell you. Is that it's a very, very cool amp from a very, very cool company that does not currently have any plugins on the market. There are no plugins out there. Very popular amps, too. That's all I'm going to tell you until roughly mid-December, folks. We'll keep teasing, though. We'll keep teasing. And Igor's I'm going to be first. Firsties! As I'm helping out with part of the content campaign. If you're out there, you create content. You've got the ability to create some cool content, decent quality. Get at me, the AmpSimUniverse at gmail.com, and I will get you hooked up with that plugin so you can create something for Nembrini Audio. So get at me if you guys would like. Otherwise, I cannot give you guys any information about it. Thanks so much. I would appreciate it. Yes, they have the Gania Pre. They have lots. Look at my list. Okay, just look at my list when I type in Kuassa. That's a pretty good list, just all on its own. That's a lot of plugins from one company. And I don't even have them all installed. I think I have licenses for probably another... When I redid this machine, I didn't put it all in there. So I've probably got licenses for another 10 that are not installed. And as I was saying before, what they did with the overdrive, when I was trying to show you guys... It's right here. They did the same thing with a lot of other types of things. So these are all boost pedals, overdrives, if you will, tube screamers. Then what they did the same thing with a chorus, compressor, delay, distortion, flanger, fuzz, overdrive, reverb, tremolo, and so they've done that with all of those, and you can get them all quite cheap. And then when you get if you decide, you go and get their free platform plugin where all of these plugins become, for example, this one you're looking at becomes 5 different pedals that are with their own UI. Okay, so that when you open it up in there, you have access to 5 different pedals as opposed to being like this. So, I mean, if that's what you want, you have access to it. So, yes, Kuassa is all in and all the way worth everything. Honestly, they're just some of the most fantastic plugins out there, and it's affordable. It's affordable year round, not just during sales. You're affordable year round. So that's my challenge for you guys. Head out and check out Kuassa. Check out some developers that you've never seen before. Okay, so here's the thing we're going to be doing. I believe it's going to happen Thursday or Friday. I'm going to be on, the team, are going to be on here Black Friday shopping with you guys. I'm going to be taking requests. If you want to check something out, if you want my opinion on our staff opinion on a plugin before you pull that trigger, let me know. Drop into that session. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to be giving some stuff away. So it'll be likely, believe it's going to be Thursday or Friday. I believe most of the sales will be active by Thursday anyways, even though it's Black Friday. So check out there, check out all the different websites, find a list of things you like our opinion on, and to gear up for a long session of let's go find out what about the sales and what we can do for you to help you guys spend your money smart and help you guys get the best bang for your buck. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really honestly appreciate the support from each and every one of you guys. It means the world to me to have you guys around and chat with during these streams. So these are just going to get better as we go. And maybe at some point we'll start promoting these things too. All right, guys, thanks so much. And I will see you guys next time.